What's going on, guys? Yankee Cowboy back for another video. This is a long overdue video that I want to make for a long time. This is more or less going to be why people have misconceptions on the 1911. People just don't understand how to hold these things, how to shoot them, what to look for, and they've gotten a bad rap in a lot of videos that I've seen. I mean, I've seen some military guys thrash the 1911 on why they won't carry one and so on and so forth, and I'm here to try and debunk some of these myths, and we're going to hop into it. I got a few different kinds of 1911s on the bench here. We'll jump down. We'll go over my thoughts, why I carry a 1911, and why I think some of these things out there, excuse my language, but it's just bullshit. And I'm going to clarify some of the stuff here today that I've seen out there, misinformation. I'm not saying I'm not the inventor of John Browning here of this particular weapon, but I mean, I understand it. I've taken them apart. I've done many of upgrades to them. I've shot them for pretty regularly now for about 2 years, so I'm pretty familiar with the 1911. I carry it for the most part, on a daily basis. Sometimes I'm carrying other stuff, but 1911 is usually in my rotation quite a bit. So enough of the rambling. This is going to be a freestyle video. I don't have anything scripted, so it might be a little haphazard, but this has just been weighing on my mind in a video that I wanted to do for a long time. So we're going to hop down here and we're going to get into it and we're going to debunk some of these stupid myths that are running around on the internet about 1911s and why people won't carry them, being unreliable, the whole gamut. So let's hop down, we'll take a look, and we'll go over some thoughts on what I think about the 1911. All right, guys, so laid out on the bench are a couple different variations of 1911s, and we're going to talk about it for a quick minute. 1911s come a long way since they were first introduced. With that being said, there's things that are much better about the modern day 1911s, but let's not forget that the original design was a genius design. But right here is your standard. This is your standard GI government size 1911. 5-inch. The only thing different on this one is it has a rail. Some of this stuff, I don't really see it being necessary, but a lot of the modern ones, they like to include rails and stuff on them. But this is a Marine Corps operator. This is a GI. All government specs on this one here. This is your most standard 1911 out there. Second one we got here, this is a commander size. This is a 4 1/4 inch. This is a fast back style. It's different back here. Like I said, there's a lot of things that they've tuned up about 1911s over the years. Pushing it further, we'll jump into the most modern one. This is a polymer 1911. This is the American Tactical. This is brand new. This is a polymer version, which I love this one. Guys, check out my video on it that I did. The audio on it's crappy, but this before I got a good enough microphone. But check that video out. I'm going to be doing another video on this again. Obviously better audio, better video, the whole bit. But this gun's fantastic, and this is just showing you, 1911's come a long way. This is a polymer 1911. This pretty much weighs half of this one. This one feels like a brick. Great gun, don't get me wrong, but feels like a brick. This thing feels like nothing, and it's got a 10-round mag in it, which, by the way, all these guns are clear. There's nothing in the mag, nothing in the chamber, and this is just showing you the evolution of a 1911, which I like. Some of the purists will get pissed, but you know what? Until you shoot it, don't knock it. This thing shoots fantastic. I'll put this against any of the other 1911s I have, and I think it shoots spot on. And then the one I'm carrying on me now, this is a Range Officer Compact. This is a 4-inch. With a compact grip on it, but again, it's pretty much all standard 1911 features. All right, so like I said, this is going to be a video on some of the shit I hear on the internet, and excuse my language. I don't normally swear in my videos, but I'm pretty upset on a lot of the videos I see out there. I see guys that are in the service and everything bad mouthing the 1911 about. Let's first get into the whole safety. Everybody bitches about it because there's a thumb safety on it. All right, this is the first myth I need to clean up. This is the most important one out of anything I'm going to ramble about here today. If you know how to properly hold a 1911, you have to, first off, it's engaged. And this is what people are bitching about. Oh, when you take it out in a fight scenario, in a stress situation, you're not going to remember to flip the safety on. If you know how to hold a 1911 and have any training with your weapons, you should know that that's bullshit right off the get-go. Because when you draw this weapon out of your holster, the first thing that happens is my thumb comes up, clicks it down, and that's where your thumb stays. This is how you hold a 1911. It's called a thumbs forward grip. So this thumb rides here, and then your hand comes in underneath. That's a thumbs forward. This is how most people emulate shooting a gun. This is because this is how you hold 1911. That's why most people do the thumbs forward. If you were to ride your thumb underneath it, which would be, you're not going to be high enough on the grip, number one, to get into the beaver tail and to hold this properly. But let's say you did go underneath. Here's the second part where it's bullshit. And number two, if you held it underneath, this is why you may, under recoil, you may knock that safety back on. So this is why this is a long sweeping thumb safety. Your thumb is designed to ride on top of this like that. So there can never be a question of this safety hindering you in a stress situation. When this thing comes out of my holster, let's say I'm drawn, the safety's on. As soon as I'm coming up with my finger on the side, my thumb's coming over here, my finger's on the side, I'm pulling out of the holster. I'm coming down on this before the weapon's even presented. Now I'm in my thumbs forward position, and that safety can never be knocked back on. I know it's off, or if it's that much of a big deal to you guys, carry it in condition 0. You know, you got all these Glock guys out there. If you're that much of a hero, carry it in condition 0. The only way that hammer is going to fall is if your sear spring is screwed up or something like that. I wouldn't take the chance personally. My suggestion here is train. Always train with your gun. Do dry fires, dry draws, pull it out, train with it. It's muscle memory, guys. When you pull this thing out of the holster, like I said, my finger's on the side, my thumb goes down on it, and I'm ready to go. So, to me, that's number one. I mean, right there, knowing how to hold a 1911 should throw all the throw all the myths about this gun right out the window. Because if you train with this and you understand how it works and what the components are and what they're for, you never have a problem. These thumb safeties are long. They're meant to be long like that for a reason. The early 1911s had a short one. Like this SIG has a short, very short thumb safety. But even with the short thumb safety, guys, your thumb is you're still able to ride it. I like the longer sweeping one. Now this gun I did a lot of work to, which I got to get back to doing a video on this. This is a Wilson Combat. It's a tactical thumb safety. It's thinner, it's longer, and it's just perfect. It holds your thumb perfect on it. So when I come up out of the holster and I'm on it, it's got a really good spot for my thumb. And then you got your thumbs forward grip. And then you pull. So, I mean, like I said, the first things first is the grip, understanding the gun. So I see so many people out there saying, I won't trust it with my life because it's got a thumb safety and this and that. And it's just, it really pisses me off. It just pisses me off, guys, like you wouldn't believe. It's, you know, I have a Glock. There's nothing against Glocks, polymer guns. I have plenty of polymer guns. I love them. But you know what? I love the 1911. Until you get one in your hands and understand it and learn how the controls work and how this gun shoots, I would absolutely trust my life with it. I've never had any failures to feed, any failures to eject on any of these that wasn't caused by something other than the magazine, which is, you know, another thing I want to get into. Guys will fire 1911. Oh, it's jamming. It sucks. I won't trust my life to it. The thumb safety. There's a lot of 1911s that come out there with junk magazines. They give you just stamped out. Let me see if I can pull one out here quick. I probably don't have one handy because I don't even carry them. I put them back in the cases. No, I don't have one handy. But they're just crappy, you know, military grade, shitty magazines. You got to get yourself a good magazine. Like these SIG mags are really good. You know, the opening here is a lot more flared. It's got a good spring in it. The metal's all perfectly shaped. So these work really well. The stock crappy ones that they give you, they don't work. So right there, people get failures and they blame it on the gun. It's not the gun. So a good mag, like these SIG mags are good. These Chip McCormick's are good. It's a Power 10. It's a 10 round mag. Same thing with these. These are flared real nice. Got a metal follower. They they work really well. So first things first, I've seen people buy Kimbers that were $1,200-$1,300, and they have problems with the thing feeding or ejecting. It's the magazine. Go right to the mag first. Don't blame the gun. I just see so much crap out there, misinformation on the 1911. 1911's been around for over 100 years for a reason, guys. It's a tried and true platform. It's one of the greatest guns you'll ever shoot once you understand it and you learn how to shoot it. It's the most natural feeling, most natural pointing gun I've ever had out of anything I own. So, I mean, it just baffles me, guys. And there's a lot of things here that, it's going to seem like I'm babbling and rambling, but my mind's scrambled right now because I've seen this for years on the internet. And it's like, I got to make a video on this and at least get my take on everything out there, because, you know, all I see out there is misinformation, mainly about the safety. And like I said, failure to feed, eject, all that. That's mag related. You know, it's been proven time and time again. You could take one of these 1911s, you know, it's just like a Glock. Yeah, it's metal and everything, but I'm sure I could run this darn thing over and I could probably still shoot it. You know what I mean? I understand the gun. I understand how it works, how to hold it, the whole bit. Ammo I'm using, you know, that could be a little tricky with the ammo. Some of these, you know, inside, the way they're set up, I'm not going to start breaking them down, but some of them have a bigger feed ramp or a lip, per se. So, I mean, you got to watch it with ammo, but that's with any gun. You got to find what your gun likes. But most of these 1911s I have, I shoot ball ammo through for target, and then anything I shoot for carry rounds, they're going to be Hornady, critical defense, you know, stuff I've tried that I know is going to work. So, you know, you got to understand your ammo and how that stuff works. But again, getting back to the topic here of why people don't like 1911s, they don't understand them. People who bash things, they don't understand them. It's like somebody saying they don't like you because they're either jealous or, you know, some stupid reason, you know, why they don't like you. It's just, you know, it's kind of stupid to use as an example, but so be it. You know, understanding the 1911, that's first things first, like with any gun. You get the gun, go through all the controls on it, you know, get yourself familiar with it, learn how to hold the gun properly, and then practice, guys. Train. You know, do dry fires, draw the gun, practice, practice, practice. Always practice using that safety. And most of the guns that I have a similar safety, so, you know, it's no big deal to me. But, you know, even carrying in condition 0 or carrying guns that don't have safeties, it doesn't bother me because the gun doesn't go boom unless you pull the trigger. So if you're afraid of a safety or afraid of how to carry a gun, maybe you shouldn't be carrying a gun. You know, I just got to throw that out there, because if this scares you to pull this hammer back without engaging the safety and putting it in your holster, then you probably shouldn't be carrying a gun, because the only way that this thing's going to fire is if there's a major malfunction in the sear spring and that thing lets the hammer go. It's never going to go off unless I pull this trigger. And at that, I have to make the grip safety to make that happen. So, I mean, you know, there's just so much crap out there about the 1911. I'm getting tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing educated military guys on YouTube saying how they wouldn't trust their life to a 1911. Now let's get into the whole caliber thing. Oh, it doesn't hold enough. There's not enough capacity. This, that, and the next thing. Let me tell you something. 45 caliber with a defensive round in it. If you need more than 8 rounds or even 9, I mean, you probably shouldn't be carrying a gun, because you suck. You have to train. Train, train. Train with your gun. You shouldn't need more than 2-3 shots with this thing to put somebody down. So that's the next thing. Well, it doesn't have the velocity, this, that. I mean, you could argue it 40 ways from Sunday. You know, this is a Power 10 magazine right here. This holds 10, and I can put one in the chamber. If I can't put you down with 11 rounds of 45 defensive rounds, then, you know, I have no business even shooting a gun. So that's the other thing, you know, the whole capacity thing. Capacity, the safety. I mean, my mind's a mess right now. It's just, I'm just so tired of hearing this crap, guys. Understand the 1911. Main thing is, like I said, guys, is how to hold this thing. This is in your holster, safety on. This is condition 1, cocked and locked. You come up, you pull out with your finger. My thumb is already in motion, coming down where it's supposed to be. Thumbs forward grip, and now I'm ready to go. There can never be a question of me not taking that safety off, and then never a question of me bumping it back on because I'm holding my thumb underneath it like a moron. This is a thumb safety. It rides over the top of it. So that's the main thing, guys, there with that. I mean, I don't know what more to say. I don't want to turn this into a 20-minute rant, but this is just a video I had to get out there, and it's probably I'm probably going to regret posting this after I post it, because I probably could have did a better job. But you know what? I had to get this off my chest. I probably missed things, but you know what? It is what it is. So that's my little thoughts on why people don't like a 1911. They don't understand it. They don't understand how this gun works, how it was designed, how to hold it, or how to train. So basically, you know, even like I said, the guys that are military guys I see on here bashing the 1911, shame on them. They should know better. You know, they shoot enough. The problem is they're doing too many different guns. You know, I have plenty of different guns, but you know what? Muscle memory. I'm carrying a 1911. I know it's cocked and locked. I know when it comes out, my thumb. I know where my thumb has to be by holding the weapon. So that's kind of a shitty excuse. But you know what? I'm going to just let it go here. And, you know, hopefully you guys got something out of my rant here. But at least I got it off my chest. And, I'll try and do another version of this video because, like I said, I was probably ranting pretty good here. But I get fired up about it. I'm pretty passionate about 1911, and it just gets me going. All right, guys. Hopefully you took something out of this. So let's head back out for some final thoughts. All right, guys. So hopefully this video wasn't too scatterbrained and off the cuff. But like I said, it was unscripted, and I'm sure I forgot stuff that I wanted to say. But with that being said, I think I got pretty much what I wanted to off my chest, and hopefully you guys got a better understanding about 1911 when you leave this video today. So any questions or comments on any of the stuff I went over about 1911, so I'll leave them below. Haters, feel free to jump in, and don't forget to check out my Facebook page, and we'll see you guys on the next one.